Hey guys, today I'm going to be making a classic recipe. A lot of you have tasted it before, you've tasted it at weddings, parties, get-togethers. I'm going to be making deviled eggs. Now, I know some of you know how to make it, but some of you don't. So here we go guys, deviled eggs it is. Okay, so deviled eggs is a very simple recipe and it doesn't take very long. All you have to do is boil your eggs. So I got 6 eggs. It's just for me and Jay. So I didn't make as many, but that's going to make 12 deviled eggs. So I'm going to boil that in water for 22 minutes and we'll be back and we're going to peel them. Okay, so I added another 6 to the pot because I'm going to be making some pickled eggs along with my deviled eggs. So while the eggs are boiling, I want to show you my little serving tray. This is what I put my deviled eggs on. So you could put it all around. You could put something else in the middle, cheese, pepperettes, pretzels, whatever you want, right? Or you could just put more in the middle. But I use this when I go to parties. When I go to any get-togethers that requires me to bring something, I usually bring deviled eggs. So deviled eggs in this platter looks really nice on the table. Within half an hour, not even, it's gone. It's completely empty. So yeah, if you're looking to buy one of these trays, you could find it in the link below. Or you could go to www.nattyhomemaker.ca. That's my website. I'll have a link there where you could buy it. So yeah, this is where I'm going to put my beautiful deviled eggs. And this is how I'm going to present my deviled eggs. I'll put them on this beautiful little platter. Okay, nice and steamy. Time's up, so I'm going to put cold water in the pot. And I'm going to let them sit there for about another 5 minutes in the cold water so they cool down and I could peel them. Let's sit around a little bit. Ooh, it's still hot a little bit. Woo! My lenta. Oh, there goes it. That's hot. Some people put ice, but my water is so cold I don't need the ice. Oh, looks like one of them cracked. That's fine. That's fine. I'll use that for the pickled eggs. Now, while we wait, I can make the pickling brine for my pickled eggs. So what I'm going to be using today is white wine vinegar. So I'm just going to put about half the jar in there, or half of this in there. Or I'm just going to fill it up to half. Okay, so I put, well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to finish it off. No, I'm not going to finish it off. There's going to be too much. Okay. So, I have half the jar filled with white wine vinegar. Now I'm going to fill the rest with distilled water. I just remembered. I got to keep room for the eggs. So I'm not going to fill it up too much. I'm going to fill it up to about there. Now the pickling salt, or the pickling spices, I'm using Bernardine mixed pickle spice. So I take a tablespoon of that, put it in there, and you could use dill, you could use cayenne, you could use whatever you like, but I'm going to use dill this time. So I'm going to use some dehydrated dill. Now this is dill from my garden. I just put it back in the dill container. So this is not from Clubhouse. This is actually from my garden. Okay, so let's stir that up. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. What I'm going to use, Oh, I don't have packets. Okay, well, I'll use the real sugar. Sugar! Okay, so I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of sugar, white sugar. Woo! Look at that tornado in there. Let's make a tornado. Look at that tornado. That's cool, eh? Isn't that cool? That's cool. It's my tornado pickled eggs. Tornado pickled eggs. Now what I did is I dumped the jar of liquid in a pot, and I'm going to boil that for 20 minutes just to infuse the pickling spices, pickling and everything else, just to make it nice and tasty. Tasty. So then you let it cool, put it back in the jar, and then you put your pickled eggs in there, or you put your eggs in there. Bubbling brew. It burns the nose, that vinegar, eh? So stir it a little bit when it starts to boil. When it's a rolling boil, it's pretty much ready to go. So just let it cool down, add your eggs, and it's done. Put it in the fridge. Wait about 2 weeks, and you'll have a flavorful egg, or flavorful eggs to eat. Okay, so first things first, we're going to peel these babies. This is the job I hate the most. So they're nice and cool now. Just going to take the peel off. It's a pain in my butt. Let me just push this over here. Sometimes they don't peel very well. They stick to the egg. Today it's actually going very well. I heard if you put vinegar in the water when you boil it, it comes off really easy. I'm going to have to try that. So here's the egg. And I'm just going to stick it in the jar. So this one split. The shell split when you were cooking it. So this is not ideal for deviled eggs for presentation wise, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that as a pickled egg. Bloop. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot in there. So I got to take some of that stuff out. Whew. What a mess. So I guess I was a little wrong there when it came to putting my vinegar. Don't put half the jar. Put less than half the jar. And leave about up to here in space for your eggs, because it's going to take up a lot of room in your jar. Guess I got a little bit over excited. Mind you, I do a big batch usually. I use my big jar, and I fill it up. Maybe like 24 eggs. Okay. Now. Okay, so there it is, guys. That's my pickled eggs. Just turn that around there. Always wipe down the top. Make sure nothing's there. I'm not canning these. Like, I'm not keeping this in my cupboard or anything like that. This is going in the fridge for me to eat. You know, it's not pressure canned, not water bathed, anything like that. It's just for us to eat right away. But I'm going to leave it there for about a week, because then it takes about a week for it to actually take in the taste of the vinegar and everything else. So there we go. I'm going to put that in the fridge, and in a week we'll have some pickled eggs. If it makes it to a week, Jay will get into it, I'm sure.
Weak my ass.
Don't touch! I'll put a red sign on it. Don't touch! I'll put barbed wire around it, electric fence. It's Jay's favorite. Anything egg is Jay's favorite. Deviled eggs is one of his favorites too. He's been bugging me for Well, you know, he bugs me a lot for a lot of things. He's always bugging me. Hey, can you make meatloaf? Hey, can you make hamburgers? Hey, can you make this? And he'll bug me, and I don't feel like doing it, right? But today, I was like, well, I'll make some deviled eggs. And I'm sure that's going to make him a happy man. Anything for my man, right? I just make him beg for a while, though. Okay. So here, put the nice little plate there. Like I said, you can find this plate in the link below or on my website. So, we're going to peel more eggs. But this time, we're going to cut them in half. And we're going to scoop out the yellow. So I'm just going to cut it gently in half. And I'm going to take a little spoon. I like to use my little baby spoons. Or you just squeeze, then it just pops out. Just like that. Nice and gentle. And you stick them on your tray. So squeeze, not too hard. Just to loosen the sides a little bit. Oh, that one didn't work. There we go. And just push the bottom. There we go. Sometimes they come out like nothing, sometimes they don't, but you do your best. Try again. Just cut it. Very gentle. And just squeeze, and plop, out it goes. Squeeze. Ooh, that one just came out like nothing. Little piece of shell. Now you want to make sure there's no pieces of shell on the egg, or that will just wreck it. Someone will bite into it and it'll be like crunch. Ugh. You know, that is just grosses me out. Look at that, nice and clean. Sometimes even just pushing the bottom of it just comes out like nothing. Always do this with your knife. Make sure there's no yellow when you cut. That way it doesn't stick to the sides of the egg. There we go. It's nice and easy to do, but yeah, it's somewhat time consuming in a way, you know, because it's gone so fast. When you put it on the table, it's gone. It's just, people see deviled eggs, they're like, oh my God, I haven't had those in so long. Because they don't want to do it themselves, right? Because it's a little bit of a job, but like I said, it's an easy recipe. It's just, you gotta boil it, you gotta peel it, you gotta pop it out. But it's worth it. It is so worth it. So now, there we go. All done. This is what my tray looks like. Get this out of the way. This is what my tray looks like. Nice and pretty. Look at that. You can even put a dip in the middle if you wanted for other things. Or so now that I have my yolks in a bowl, I'm going to cut my green onions. So this is optional. I just like it because it adds a little something to it. A little color and flavor, of course. But if you choose not to put onion, that's fine as well. So I'm putting 2 of them right from my garden. Chop, 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 chop. Choppa, 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 choppa. All right. Now we get the fork and we mash them up real good. So you mash that up. Wipe this down. Keep your area clean, guys. So now I'm going to take some mayonnaise. Now, I could put cream cheese in there, but I'm not going to this time. This is just the basic recipe that I use for game night or parties or whatever. So I'm putting 3 heaping teaspoons of mayonnaise. Then I'm going to get some horseradish. Now, I pick up this horseradish at the Buck store or Dollar Tree. So it's 1905 horseradish sauce. This adds a little zang. So just put a little bit in there. Just a little bit. A little bit of mustard, because the mustard will take out the fart. So I got some French mustard. Just a little bit. And a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt. A little bit of pepper. And then we mix it up. And that's how you do it, guys. So this is the basic recipe. Like I said, I have many recipes for this. I could add cream cheese, Laughing Cow. I could add Parmesan. I could add feta. I could add olives. You know, you could add whatever you want, really. It's just, this is just the basics. Because some people are very picky. So this makes it really popular. So now I take my little spoon. I grab the egg like this. And just put a nice tablespoon there. Now you can use a piping bag and pipe it in, but that's just extra work. You know. And I find the piping bag actually wastes a lot of the egg. This way there's no waste. And yeah. The other one's more for presentation. Piping bag makes it nice. You can make nice rosettes. Make it look all fancy. It's hard not to eat these though. While you're doing it, you're like, oh God, I just want it. So I just hope that there's a little bit left in the bowl after so I can have a little taste. Jay's like, yeah, taste. He's probably listening in the living room saying, I hope she does have some left over. Oh, that one's upside down. There we go. Just have these, the filling for a sandwich. Oh, it would be so good. Delicious. Deviled egg sandwiches. Mm-hmm. Now, this is not for a party. This is just for me and Jay. So we're going to have this for lunch today. A lot of eggs, I know. I'll probably have about 3 eggs total. Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say 3 eggs total. So that's not too bad. Now, here's the weird thing, guys. As you can see, they're quite full, right? There's still quite a bit in the bowl. So I'm just going to slap a little bit more on there. Now, if I would have made more, I would have put probably more in the middle. So I'm not going to put more because I don't have more. But this is what I do. I put a little bit of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to do 2 kinds today. I'm going to make the cayenne pepper on top, on half of it, and the other half's going to be dill. So just a little bit of cayenne pepper on the top, like that. Okay. And then a little bit of dill on the other ones. There you go. And I still have some left in the bowl here, like I said. So I'm going to try some out. And then I'll give the rest to Jay. Let's see. It's been a while, so. Delicious. Delicious. Remember when back in the day, Mom used to give you icing in a bowl? Well, here you go.
Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
So all that begging you've been doing?
Paid off.
Paid off, eh? Good stuff, huh? Glad you like it.
Me too.
Well, there it is. Deviled eggs, ready to go. This is my lunch today. Like I said, you can use the middle for dip, crackers, cheese, whatever you want, right? But I'm going to add these crab flavored chips that I bought at the superstore. I've never tried them. So I'm going to put that in the middle as a little snack. And I'm actually going to try one. It's like a sweet crab. They're actually really good. So, there you go, guys. Deviled eggs. Now you know how to do it. Make it for a party, barbecue, wedding, baptism, whatever. It's easy to make. It's a hit at any party. And there you go. Another recipe under your belt. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And be sure to leave a comment below because I love reading your comments. Bye for now. I wasn't going to leave without trying it. You know that, right? So here we go. I'll take a dill one. Here's a dill one. See that? Creamy. Eggy. Just delicious. 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 You're sitting in the dark. I can't see you.
That's because I got all that light behind me.
Okay, well, maybe I'll go over here. All right. Open wide. Here comes the boat.
Give me the boat.
Yeah, open wide. Open wide. Your big mouth. You can see the ecstasy in his mouth. In his mouth. You can see the ecstasy in his eyes. His face. Yeah. Is that good?
No, I need to try another one.
It's good with those crab chips, eh?
I don't know. I need to try another one to make sure.
Well, lunch is about an hour, so we'll wait we'll wait an hour.
It's just quality control. Just give me one more, and I could tell you if it was actually good or not.
I'll think about it.